So I have been a fan of Ben Webster for some time, and I don't know why it is that I've just never bought this record. This is supposed to be one of his really better works. But I do have it now. This is the 45 RPM version of the Analog Productions remaster, Gentle Ben. So let's take a look and see. I believe the tear off is up here. Let's open it up and see what we have. Appears to be not a gatefold, and they went ahead and just put both records inside with, of course, more advertisements for them. You can kind of see that, right? This is an insert, sort of liner notes and photographs. I'll read through that a little bit later. And the records, the vinyl. So I think this is supposed to be 200 grams weight. It feels like it. They're pretty solid, 45 RPMs, which means I'll be getting up a lot. Vinyl looks good. Looks really, really nice. That's, let's say, disc 1. Put this back in its sleeve. I really would have thought that a production like this would have had some kind of gatefold, unless the original work, was not offered that way. I guess it probably wasn't. This disc looks really good too. I'll put them on the turntable in a bit just to check them for flatness, to make sure they didn't get damaged, but they look real clean, and they look flat to me, visually, just looking at them. And then I'll put them on the VPI 16.5 and give them a clean, and then put them on the turntable. The idea is see if they sound good enough to justify what is it now, $75, $80, $85 for an ATR Magnetics tape? They're very expensive. I mean, when I first started buying them, they were about $65, and now they're much more expensive now. So I have to be careful about which vinyl records like this that I would, put on tape. This probably is going to make the grade, though. I'm pretty sure all the reviews, everything I've heard about this record it's outstanding. So looking forward to it. I'll report back to you guys what I think. So apparently this was remastered in 2011. It says that the original release was in 1972. We'll see. Okay, welcome back after a day. I had the opportunity to put this record, this double album, 45 RPM, on the turntable and listen to it. So I wanted to give some impressions about it. It's a very good record, first and foremost. But one thing about it that it's happened about 4 times maybe in the past with these Analog Production reissues, that the spindle, the hole on the LP that goes over the spindle when you put it on your turntable, is just too tight. You literally have to force the record onto it, and then of course getting it off, you'd have to bend it. It would just be, it potentially damage the record. But the spindle on your turntable is, I believe it's 7.14 millimeters, which exactly corresponds to a 9/32 drill bit size. So, I went out into the toolbox and got a 9/32 bit, and if you just kind of put it in the hole and spin it around a little bit, it just widens it. And that was the perfect solution. It's a very nice firm placement on the turntable, but it comes off easily. And incidentally, both LPs in this set had that issue. But once that's been done, the rest of it was fine. The albums are very flat. It's a good quality, solid 200 gram vinyl, and the sound quality was very good. No surface noise whatsoever. It's extremely quiet vinyl, so that gets a high mark. I guess I paid $60 for this record from Acoustic Sounds, and I'm not a fan of them sticking two albums together in the same sleeve. I really think for that kind of treatment, they should have made a gatefold out of this and had, one vinyl record on one side and one on the other, but they didn't, and that's fine. I was kind of expecting it, but I got what I got. So this record, I think, it doesn't have the same width of soundstage and the same depth that some of the the Blue Note reissues that I have, which are very expansive. I think this record, the pianist Tet was a little bit off to the left, a little bit behind the left-hand speaker, not terribly deep, and the same thing with the drummer. He was a little bit to the right and just a little bit behind Ben Webster saxophone and a little bit off to the right. The star of the show, of course, was Mr. Webster and his tenor sax, and that comes through rock solid, dead center, and very, very present and very vibrant. It's, like an in the room type of situation, but his companions that are playing just don't seem to have the same holographic expanse to it. So it's a very good record. I really like it. It's certainly an audiophile grade recording, a remaster, but it's just not quite as luminous as some of the others that I do own. And so that was something that I kind of did notice a little. But all in all, if you like tenor sax, this is a very, very kind of a downbeat, mostly sort of a title. It's not, like Dexter Gordon, hard bop, go or one flight up, that type of thing where it's like kind of really in your face. This is a far more laid back. The trio plays very well off of each other. Ben Webster and his pianist companion Tet are very complementary of each other. The drummer is really just sort of in the background and is just sort of accompanying this. His drum is not really obtrusive until the very last track on side D. They're labeled side A and B, and then C and D. And the very last track on the record, they kind of let the drummer breathe and do his thing. So that was nice. But otherwise, it's like what I expect from a guy like this, Ben Webster. This record was made 10 months prior to his death, so it's probably maybe the last recording that he made. I don't know if there's anything that he did after this, but that's something this is one of the last works that he was able to complete. So interesting story. If you don't have this, if you like tenor sax, you like Ben Webster, I certainly recommend this as a recommended a record to have in your collection. It's been, as I said earlier yesterday when I was kind of going through it, this was done in 2011, and I'm pretty sure it's been, in and out of print a few times, awaiting repress. So if you miss it this time, it'll probably come back at some future, iteration. Just bear in mind, if it's a tight fit on the spindle of your turntable, a 9/32 inch bit, drill bit, a sharp one, like a carbide bit, will take care of that little issue, okay? So there you have it. That's my mini review of Ben Webster, Gentle Ben. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, please. Hit that like button, please. And we'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Bye.